Kardashian has had enough. This complete debacle of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's making has made them even more toxic in Hollywood than they were before, and that is saying something. That the Kardashian clan are upset after Harry and Meghan demanded not to be pictured inside Kris Jenner's 70th birthday, which was extraordinary, of course, because just a few moments earlier, they had been pictured inside the event for Serena.
From the moment the first whispers leaked out, people were already glued to their screens because they wanted answers. Was it true? Did Hollywood's most unshakable family really slam the royal-turned-celebrity duo with a message so cold it could freeze Beverly Hills? If you came to find out exactly what went down, every gasp, every glare, every word that stopped the room, trust me, you're about to get it all. Because Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebration, planned to be a shimmering night of glamour and legacy, transformed into a spectacle nobody saw coming. And at the center of the storm? Kim Kardashian, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry, locked in a moment that Hollywood insiders are still whispering about like it happened 5 minutes ago. It wasn't supposed to be complicated. Kris had spent months designing her perfect night, soft lighting, glittering decor, a guest list packed with Hollywood's elite, and a mood that screamed sophistication. Everyone expected champagne laughter, camera flashes, and that classic Kardashian sparkle. Instead, chaos erupted the moment Meghan and Harry arrived, a disruption so jarring that people who were standing feet away said the temperature in the room practically dropped. You know that moment when the music is still playing, but suddenly everyone's too busy staring to actually hear it? That's what happened. Meghan and Harry walked in, and instead of blending into the rhythm of the celebration, eyes followed them like a scene from a movie where trouble has just entered the doorway. Some said their entrance felt rehearsed, too stiff, too calculated. Others swore Meghan's gaze immediately scanned for cameras before she even said hello. Kris, who wanted nothing more than a beautiful, peaceful milestone birthday, already sensed something was off before the night even took flight. For a while, everything seemed tolerable. They mingled, posed for a few photos, enjoyed the food and the attention until the moment that sent the entire evening spiraling. The royal couple, already known in Hollywood for being notoriously selective about how they're photographed, allegedly told multiple people, staff included, that any pictures taken of them needed to be deleted. Not reviewed. Not approved. Deleted. And that's when the earthquake hit. Imagine walking into the home of the most media-savvy family on the planet and telling them what they can or can't have on their own phones. Imagine insisting that their own private photographer erase images that weren't even meant for public release yet. The Kardashians, who practically built the blueprint of—
Don't you miss that feeling, getting lost in a story that feels like it was written just for you? If your heart needs a little magic, click on the link in I-button or in the description or pinned comment. It's waiting at infalibster.com. Go feel something again.
modern fame, stood there stunned. Even people who barely knew Meghan and Harry exchanged looks that said, did they really just do that? Kim Kardashian was across the room when she heard. And according to several people who didn't move a muscle when she stormed toward them, she looked like someone who had just been slapped with the ultimate insult. Kim, who made an empire out of crafting and controlling her own narrative, wasn't even mad about the photos themselves. It was the entitlement, the audacity, the idea that Meghan and Harry could just walk into her mother's party and start barking orders like they were hosting it. Witnesses swear Kim didn't lower her voice. She didn't hide it. She didn't sugarcoat the message. She let it ring loud enough for half the room to understand this wasn't just a misunderstanding, it was a line in the sand. Her words, sharp as diamonds, don't ever call me, us, or come near us asking for anything again. Just like that. Final. Delivered with the tone of a woman who has spent her entire life mastering the art of power and wasn't about to let anyone, even a so-called royal, steamroll her family. People nearby said the silence afterward felt electric. Meghan froze. Harry looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him whole. And Kris? Kris was trying so hard to keep her face calm that you could practically see the stress behind her smile. And honestly, who could blame Kim? The Kardashians don't get told what to post. They don't ask permission for their own moments. They don't let others dictate their spotlight. And here came Meghan and Harry, demanding erasure, demanding control, as if Hollywood was just Buckingham Palace with palm trees. Word of Meghan and Harry's photo demands spread so quickly that within minutes the party's energy changed. People whispered behind champagne glasses, phone screens lit up with texts, and insiders began making calls before dessert even hit the table. It wasn't long before the narrative crystallized. Meghan was being controlling again, Harry defensive yet passive, and the couple, already struggling to stay relevant, was about to face the consequences of crossing Hollywood's most influential clan. Kim wasn't the only one upset. Kris was devastated. This was her night, her milestone. And instead of celebrating 6 decades of building an empire and redefining fame, she found herself surrounded by guests murmuring about royal drama. Kris later confided that she felt insulted and blindsided. And when Kris feels hurt, the whole family feels it. Khloe and Kylie immediately backed Kim. To them, Meghan and Harry hadn't just crossed a line, they'd stomped on it. And here's the truth people don't want to say out loud. Meghan and Harry weren't exactly in a position to make demands. Their popularity had been dipping. Their image had taken hit after hit. Their Netflix deals had become punchlines, their Spotify contract dissolved into public embarrassment, and their attempts at rebranding themselves as America's ultimate power couple weren't landing. Hollywood initially welcomed them with open arms, Oprah interviews, red carpet invites, streaming platforms practically throwing money at them. But sympathy turned to exhaustion. Curiosity turned to side-eye. People don't like being lectured, especially not by people who fled royalty only to act like royalty somewhere else. Meghan's fixation on controlling how she's perceived might have worked overseas, but in Los Angeles it comes across as out of sync with industry norms. Hollywood is built on exposure, accessibility, and authenticity, or at least the illusion of it. You can't demand absolute power over how every camera captures you, then walk into the most photographed party in the city and act confused when people take pictures. Kim understood that better than anyone, which is why this moment wasn't merely anger, it was strategic. It was a message. She doesn't care about royal titles or royal drama. Hollywood is her kingdom. Her family's empire was built from scratch through work, sacrifice, reinvention, and most importantly, the acceptance that being in the public eye comes with the territory. The Kardashians don't bow. They choose who gets close. And Meghan and Harry? According to everyone near them that night, they were trying to leverage their royal identity in a space where it simply doesn't function. Hollywood royalty is earned, not inherited. You don't decree influence. You produce it. By the time the party ended, one thing was clear. Kim's words weren't heat of the moment. They were the new reality. She and Meghan were done. Communication? Cut. Invitations? Over. Favors? Forgotten. Hollywood has its own form of exile, and it hits harder than anything Buckingham Palace could impose. When the Kardashians shut you out, people notice. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry's camp stayed silent. Not a single statement. Not a single denial. Insiders whispered they were blindsided by how quickly the story spread. But honestly, that's the part they should have expected. Nothing stays quiet when the Kardashians are involved. They live under a microscope by choice and by mastery. Meghan and Harry still haven't figured out that in this world, trying to control the narrative almost always backfires. Things only got worse when guests started sharing what they heard and saw. Meghan allegedly slipped into a panic when she realized photos were being taken candidly. One guest claimed she heard Meghan murmuring to Harry, "We can't let them post those," as if the entire evening was a PR crisis instead of a birthday celebration. Harry looked exhausted, eyes low, shoulders tense, a man who seemed more ready for bed than a Beverly Hills gala. Meghan took the lead, and Harry followed, like he has for years. And when Kim finally delivered her now infamous warning, it wasn't dramatic or theatrical. It was delivered with the icy clarity of a woman stating a simple fact: the door is closed. Permanently. And that's what made the moment so shocking. Kim rarely cuts someone off entirely. But once she does, the industry usually follows her lead. People online didn't hold back either. Social media erupted. Comments rolled in by the thousands. How do you accept an invite to Kris Jenner's birthday, drink her champagne, eat her food, smile for her guests, then tell her family to delete photos? Another commenter wrote. That's the definition of entitlement. Someone else joked, Kim should have known better than to let Meghan anywhere near a camera. Drama follows her like a shadow. It didn't help that the public was already skeptical of Meghan and Harry's Hollywood takeover. Their constant reinventions, their shifting narratives, their attempts to outstory the story, people were tired. And now that they defended the Kardashians, Hollywood's patience was evaporating fast. Because here's the secret everyone in the industry understands. If the Kardashians decide you're bad for business, doors close. Not physically, socially, silently, effortlessly. No more invitations, no more collaborations, no more second chances. Meghan and Harry wanted to be power players in Los Angeles. But power players know not to sabotage the birthday of the woman who practically invented the modern influencer. And the irony is almost painful. Meghan left the royal family for more control, more freedom, more autonomy. But demanding visual erasure at a high-profile event doesn't show freedom, it shows fear. It shows insecurity. It shows an obsession with image that feels outdated in a city where authenticity is the new currency. Kim, meanwhile, walked away from the night stronger. Her boundaries were clear. Her loyalty to her family was proven yet again. Her ability to take control of a chaotic moment only reinforced what everyone already knows. She isn't just a celebrity, she's an institution. Meghan tried to control the spotlight. Kim commanded it. In the days that followed, Hollywood insiders began referring to the incident as a royal meltdown and a Kardashian shutdown. Because that's exactly what it was. Meghan and Harry had hoped to cement their place in elite circles. Instead, they became a cautionary tale about what happens when you bring palace politics into a world that doesn't play by palace rules. And the saddest part? Meghan could have used that night to rebuild her image. Kris's guest list was filled with exactly the people Meghan had been trying to win over: producers, billionaires, cultural icons, the type of people who shape Hollywood's future. It could have been her moment to show she belonged. Instead, she turned it into a headline for all the wrong reasons. Kim didn't exaggerate. She didn't start a feud. Meghan and Harry did that themselves. And when Kim told them to never contact her or her family again, she sealed their Hollywood fate with a single sentence. Because in the end, Meghan didn't just disrespect the Kardashians. She humiliated them. She hijacked a milestone birthday and twisted it into a spectacle. And if she thought she could erase that by deleting a few photos, she forgot one crucial truth. The Kardashians don't chase the spotlight. They're the spotlight. And Meghan walked straight into it, only to get burned by the glare. Hollywood doesn't forget, and it certainly never forgives being embarrassed. Meghan and Harry may have left the crown behind, but acting like they still wear one? That's the mistake that cost them the favor of Hollywood's most powerful family. And Kim's message will echo through every room they enter from now on. Don't call. Don't come. Don't ask. The Kardashian kingdom has spoken.